So just a quick recap, I did do an unboxing video of this a while back. This is my C grade #1 Mark III from Royal Tiger Imports. See, it's got some damage to the stock here, missing piece here, and then this has got a big chunk missing. But otherwise it still looks promising to be a decent shooter once it's been cleaned up and has some repairs done to it. Probably a replacement of some of these forewood pieces. Now this doesn't have a date or a manufacturer here. It got scrubbed off during a factory repair. And on the other side here, you can see that it has the factory repair mark, 1942. And it has the Indian style screw here. So this was done at Ishapore and also was reserialized. So 1942, this went through factory repair. And the Indians are known for removing sometimes the previous manufacturer markings. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart and show you how it looks under the wood. Once I got it all broken down, you can see that some of these parts are just caked in some hardened grease, and there is some rust and whatnot all over the barrel here. You can see there's some leftover green paint. This is probably painted green during its factory refurb. That was pretty common for stuff that was sent to South Pacific, especially India, Australia, to help prevent rust, corrosion. You can see the front top handguard here has a pretty nasty split, but otherwise is in decent shape. And looks like the butt here is in pretty good condition too. It's just dirty, needs to be cleaned out. Now the forend here does have a split right through it. You can see I put that screw there, but it's definitely split pretty badly. And the draws here are pretty trash, so I'm not really sure how salvageable this forend will be, but I'll clean it up and see how it looks underneath all this. And there's just some of the larger components. Got the bolt, trigger and trigger guard, magazine, nose cap. Everything looks like it's in good shape. See some corrosion there on the brass. Firing pin looks good. You can see there's a little piece of the spring there, so that spring's gonna have to be replaced for the firing pin. So far the bolt looks pretty good. And I got all the other smaller parts here in this pot. I'll go ahead and boil all that up. So I'm going to boil the parts and I'll clean the wood. I start with some Murphy's Oil soap, sponge, and some warm water, and do kind of a couple goes of that just to get a lot of the dirt and grime off of it, clean up the wood. And then I finish it with some boiled linseed oil. And for the barrel in action, probably put that in some boiling water as well and get that cleaned off, and then I'll follow it up with some ballistol, grass brush in certain areas, or some steel wool. I will try to preserve the green paint, but the barrel it's got a lot of rust and everything, so I got to get all that off, so I'm not sure how much of it I'll actually be able to preserve, but we'll try my best. So I'll go ahead and get started, and then I'll show you how it looks. So I got these cleaned up with some Murphy's Oil soap. You can see it's starting to show the wood finish here. So a little bit to go. I'll do one more cleaning session on this forend. I did get this wood out of my stock for replacing the upper hand guards. I did clean it off a bit with some Murphy's Oil soap, but it's still pretty dark, so I'll probably do one more cleaning with that. You can see the butt. That's after one session as well. And you can see I'm starting to get a lot of that grime and everything off of it. So the butt should look pretty good when I'm done. Once I put on some boiled linseed oil, this stuff will look a lot better. So I'll go ahead and do one more session with the Murphy's Oil soap and show you how it looks. Alright, so I got it all cleaned up. You can see a lot of the parts look pretty good, especially the butt plate. Cleaned all that corrosion out of it. Bolt parts look good. The only issue I have with the bolt, as you can see here, This little piece of metal here got sheared off at some point, so eventually I have to replace the bolt, which would be kind of annoying, but I do have a bunch of bolt bodies, so I can try out a couple with the same bolt head and then check the headspace and see if I can get one in there. Nose cap looks pretty good. A lot of stuff cleaned up pretty well. I did decide to take another magazine I have and swap it out. The one that came with was pretty rough. So this is the rear sight protector that I got with it. I'm going to go ahead and swap this out with a wartime one, but it did clean up pretty well. This particular type is a post-war. And so far this is cleaned up pretty well. There's still a lot of rust on it I have to work on, but I did start on this. I have to probably put it and boil it a little longer to try to convert some of this rust. But the other parts did pretty well with boiling. Did get this top handguard here and this one as well. So I'll slap those on there. You can see here the forend does have that crack there. So this crack, I'll probably do another repair on it. Probably drill it right down the middle here, put a hardwood dowel through it, right in front of where the recoil is, see if that helps. The draws on this are pretty trash, so I'm not sure how long this forend's going to last. It does appear to be a softer wood than what I'm used to working with. Alright, so I got it all put back together. See, it turned out pretty nicely. That's the original butt. Butt plate looks pretty good. We're all in good condition. Bolt works pretty well. Sometimes you get issues with the bolt head wanting to pop out of this receiver here, but doesn't seem to be an issue with that. Did replace the forend. I got this DP forend, kind of working out the paint on it. Just taking a bit longer than anticipated, especially this white stripe of paint here. It's pretty thick. Did get that rear sight protector swapped out with a appropriate wartime version. Also swapped out both top handguards. See, it looks a lot better. It's complete, no damage to it. You see the nose cap cleaned up pretty well. Did put a sling on it as well. Nice blancoed sling. Good, turn over. At the other side of the butt. Also looks like it's in good condition. Just has kind of those little markings and everything in it. There's that factory repair stamp right there. Still working out the DP stripe there. And overall, this forend I replaced it with is pretty good. It's very nice for a DP forend. There's no cracks or any damage to it. See on their side here. Usually get a lot of cracks here. Go and take a look at the bore. So as you can see, the bore looks pretty good. You know, it's decent for an RTI rifle, especially what I paid for it. So it should be a pretty decent shooter. So I hope this video is informative for you and it helps you make a decision whether or not want to get a #1 Mark III Enfield from World Tiger Imports. I would say if you can get one that's complete, go for it, especially if you want a good project. It's always kind of a gamble with the bores, but you know, if you get it on a really good sale, sometimes worth the risk. You'll get at least what you paid for in parts. If you have any questions about this rifle or the process I used to clean it, feel free to drop it in the comments. I have a bunch of projects coming out. We'll see a lot of videos on that coming out soon. So if you'd like to get alerted to those, feel free to subscribe and sign up for alerts. And as always, thank you for watching.